again, in this occasion, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to reverse their recent stringent conditions.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, has joined nurses under the AGI of the National Association of Nigeria Nurse and Midwife, Abuja and Lagos chapter to protest the new circular on certificate verification by the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. The nurses converge on the NMCN's office in Abuja and Lagos to express their dissatisfaction and threaten a nationwide strike, describing the new guideline as an effort to impede their freedom. NMCN, in its revised guidelines, states that applicants seeking verification of certificates from foreign nursing board and council must possess 2 years of post-qualification experience from the date of issuance of the permanent practicing license. This was disclosed in a memo dated 7th February and signed by the NMCN Chief Executive Officer and Registrar Farouk Abubakar. The policy is believed to be aimed at reducing the rate at which nurses leave for the United Kingdom and other developed countries in search of greener pasture. However, the nurses have demanded a reversal, urging the council to address other pertinent issues such as nurses' welfare, salary scale, staff shortages, among others. The nurses and midwives display placards conveying messages such as address unemployment among nurses, say no to verification rules, and protect nurses, protect healthcare.
Let me once again, in this occasion, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to reverse their recent stringent conditions of our nursing personnel working overseas. We cannot restrict our young ones' opportunity of global employment. That is what is available. Today, Nigeria is the third most wanted nurses globally, and have to be allowed to seek the opportunities that are global for them. What we should do as a nation is, since we have these young ones that are productive and everything, is to invest more in a short and more nursing college of nursing sciences all over Nigeria, but in every local government. Produce more, ensure that we give them the fastest support to get jobs globally and become a brand we should celebrate. Because they are the ones that are going to invest in Nigeria. Do their remittances and everything, you will generate the required foreign exchange for our business. So we need to invest more in them. And that's what I'm doing personally. That investment is what is critical. So please reverse this condition and support them. And our government will go around and support all the school of nursing, college of nursing sciences that is all over Nigeria. Thank you.
I don't know why the Nigerian government just love putting the cart before the horse. All of their policies is just aimed at stifling the initiative of the people. You are restricting your young nurses, your young doctors from leaving the country. Have you all sat down to ask yourself, why are they leaving? That should be the most important question. Why are these young men, after graduating, are leaving the country in droves to other European countries to pursue a career over there? What is the cause of this mass immigration of these young nurses? That should be the bane of discussion, not issuing a circular restricting their movement. For physicians with the intention to immigrate from Nigeria, there are things that are the common factor. And among them, they are the poor remuneration, which is 91% of it. followed by rising insecurity in the country. 79%. This is 79% cause of why people are leaving the country. And most of them have to do extra job with that commensurate pay. And then there is a lack of diagnostic equipment and facilities. You and I all know that these things I just mentioned are rampant in Nigeria. Let us talk about the remuneration. Of course, nurses and doctors in Nigeria are complaining of poor funding, poor pay. Not only them, every worker in Nigeria, they are not being paid well. The only people that are being paid well in this country are politicians. Politicians and their politicians' aid. But when it comes to the people that are working to improve the economy of this country, they don't care about their welfare. So why won't they live in droves to seek for greener pastures? Why? Another aspect is the insecurity. People are being sent to go and work in volatile places, in hostile environment, in places where kidnapping, banditry, Boko Haram is rampant, without caring about their safety. We've had reports of nurses and doctors being killed while carrying out their duties by criminals. The recent spate of kidnapping in Abuja and other parts of Nigeria is scary. These young men will leave if opportunity presents itself. And you should be asking yourself, why are the international community demanding for your nurses and doctors? That is because they are good. But you, the Nigerian government, you don't care about them. You don't pay them well. Insecurity is rampant. You are not tackling insecurity, and you want your people to continue working in an unconducive environment. Most of these nurses, most of these doctors, they do extra work. Yes, because of lack of manpower. The ones that are qualified have left the country. The ones that are available are being meant to work overtime, and they are not being paid commensurate expenses for the overtime they are working. This time are valued over there. That is why they go, because their times are valued. They are being paid commensurate fee for their time. But the Nigerian government are not doing so. And you expect them to stick to you? No. Nobody wants to stay in an abusive relationship. Nobody wants to stay in an abusive working environment. Everybody wants an environment that is conducive for them to work. This is the reason why they are leaving. It is not a common secret that hospitals in Nigeria lack the requisite equipment to carry out diagnostic operations. We lack those basic amenities. For over how many years of democracy, government have shown little or no concern to the improvement of health sector in Nigeria. They have not shown that willingness. Why? Because they all move in droves to other countries to go and treat themselves. Simple headache. They'll travel out of the country to go and treat themselves. Some of them spent as much as how many months? The last President Muhammadu Buhari, spent close to 6 months in the UK treating himself. Why can't he do that in Nigeria? Why? Because the equipment are not there. The equipment are not there. Money budgeted for medical equipment are being siphoned, are being looted. They don't care to improve the working condition of our hospitals, because they can easily fly out of the country to go treat themselves. And you expect these young nurses to keep working in an unconducive environment with little or no equipment when they are being exposed to sophisticated equipment overseas? No. This is slavery. This is modern slavery. You are trying to enslave your young men after acquiring all the requisite knowledge. You are trying to enslave them without providing the necessary working conditions. Rather than trying to restrict their movement, rather than trying to stop them from traveling out of the country to go and work in overseas, look at all these conditions. Improve their working conditions. Improve their remuneration. Solve insecurity. Improve our healthcare, our hospitals. Improve it to standard modern facilities. When all these things are put in place, your young men and young women will not leave the country. They would like to work. Home is home. Everybody loves to be in home. They love to be at home. During the last election, you saw how the people in the diaspora were so much interested in the election because they felt they needed a new Nigeria, so that most of them can come back home and invest in home. But yet, that didn't go as planned. And you see, expect them to keep doing the same thing. Nigeria keep going from bad to worse, rather than going from bad to good. You keep going from bad to worst, and you expect the ones around not to travel? No, you can't do that. This is a demonic policies, and I stand with Mr. P2B. I stand with the nurses to outrightly condemn it. Rather than restricting these young men and women from traveling, restrict the politicians from going abroad from holiday. They have no business traveling abroad. Restrict them from sending their children abroad to go and school. They have no business doing that. They are being fed with the public, with taxpayer money. Everything should be done here, not with private citizens. Your power should not only be seen on private citizens. There are politicians, there are head of politicians that need that restriction, not our young nurses, not our young doctors. Kudos to them for speaking out. Kudos to Mr. P2B for supporting them. Thank you very much.